From translation, ISV International Standard Version. This 22nd day of the year. Today we are reading passages Exodus 13 to 15. Exodus chapter 13, verses 1 to 22. The Lord said to Moses, "Consecrate to me all the firstborn. Whatever is the first to open the womb among the Israelites, of people and animals, belongs to me." Then Moses said to the people, "Remember this day on which you came out from Egypt, out of the house of slavery. For the Lord brought you out from there with a mighty hand. You must eat unleavened bread. Today in the month of Abib you are going out. When the Lord brings you into the land of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, which he swore to your ancestors to give you, a land flowing with milk and honey, you must observe this ritual in this month. For 7 days you are to eat unleavened bread, and on the 7th day there is to be a festival to the Lord. Unleavened bread is to be eaten for 7 days. No leavened bread is to be seen with you, and no leaven is to be seen with you in all your territory. You are to tell your child on that day, 'This is because of what the Lord did for me when I came out of Egypt.' It will be a sign for you on your hand and a reminder on your forehead, so that the Lord's instruction may be in your mouth. For with a mighty hand the Lord brought you out of Egypt. You are to keep this regulation as a perpetual statute from one generation to another. When the Lord brings you into the land of the Canaanites and gives it to you, as he promised you and your ancestors, you must dedicate to the Lord all the firstborn males. Every firstborn offspring of the womb among your livestock belongs to the Lord. You are to redeem every firstborn donkey with a lamb, but if you do not redeem it, you must break its neck. You must redeem every firstborn of your sons. When your son asks you in the future, 'What is this?' you are to tell him, 'With a mighty hand the Lord brought us out of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. When Pharaoh stubbornly refused to let us go, the Lord killed all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of humans and the firstborn of animals. That is why I sacrifice to the Lord every firstborn male of the womb, and I redeem every firstborn of my sons. It will be like a sign on your hand and a band on your forehead, for with a mighty hand the Lord brought us out of Egypt." When Pharaoh let the people go, God did not lead them by the way of the land of the Philistines, even though it was nearer. For God said, "If the people see war and change their minds and return to Egypt," so God led the people around by the way of the wilderness toward the Red Sea. The Israelites went up out of the land of Egypt, armed for battle. Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, because Joseph had made the Israelites swear an oath, saying, "God will surely come to your aid, and you must carry my bones away from here with you." They set out from Sukkot and camped at Etham on the edge of the wilderness. The Lord went ahead of them in a pillar of cloud by day to guide their way, and in a pillar of fire by night, so that they could travel by day and by night. He did not remove the pillar of cloud by day or the pillar of fire by night from before the people. Exodus chapter 14, verses 1 to 31. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Tell the Israelites to turn back and camp before Pi-hahiroth, between Migdol and the sea. You are to camp in front of Baal-zephon, opposite it by the sea. Pharaoh will say about the Israelites, 'They are wandering around in the land, the wilderness has closed in on them.' I will make Pharaoh's heart stubborn, and he will pursue them. But I will display my glory through Pharaoh and all his army, and the Egyptians will know that I am the Lord." So the Israelites did this. When the king of Egypt was told that the people had fled, Pharaoh and his officials changed their minds toward the people and said, "What have we done? We have let Israel go, serving us no purpose." So Pharaoh made his chariot ready and took his army with him. He took 600 of the best chariots, along with all the other chariots of Egypt, with officers in every one. The Lord made the heart of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, stubborn, and he pursued the Israelites as they were marching out boldly. The Egyptians pursued them, all of Pharaoh's horses, his chariots and his chariot drivers, and caught up with the Israelites camped by the sea at Pi-hahiroth in front of Baal-zephon. As Pharaoh approached, the Israelites looked up and saw the Egyptians marching after them. So they were terrified and cried out to the Lord. They said to Moses, "Was it because there were no grave in Egypt that you brought us to the wilderness to die? What have you done to us by bringing us out of Egypt? Isn't this what we told you in Egypt? Leave us alone so that we may serve the Egyptians. For it would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the wilderness." But Moses told the people, "Don't be afraid. Stand firm and see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. For the Egyptians you see today you will never see again. The Lord will fight for you, and you have only to keep still." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Why do you cry out to me? Tell the Israelites to move on. Raise your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it, so that the Israelites can go through the sea on dry ground. I will make the hearts of the Egyptians stubborn so that they will go in after them, and I will display my glory through Pharaoh and all his army, through his chariots and his chariot drivers. Then the Egyptians will know that I am the Lord, when I display my glory through Pharaoh, his chariots and his chariot drivers." The angel of God, who went before the Israelite army, moved and went behind them. The pillar of cloud also moved from in front of them and stood behind them. It came between the Egyptian camp and the Israelite camp. Throughout the night the cloud brought darkness to the one side and light to the other side. Neither went near the other all night. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord drove the sea back with a strong east wind all night, and made the sea into dry land. The waters were divided. The Israelites went through the sea on dry ground, with the wall of water on their right and on their left. The Egyptians pursued them, and all of Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his chariot drivers went into the sea after them. During the morning watch the Lord looked down on the Egyptian army through the pillar of fire and cloud, and he threw the Egyptian army into panic. He caused their chariot wheels to swivel, so that they had difficulty driving. The Egyptians said, "Let's flee from the Israelites, because the Lord is fighting for them against the Egyptians." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand over the sea, so that the waters may come back on the Egyptians, on their chariots, and on their chariot drivers." So Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and as the morning appeared the sea returned to its normal course. While the Egyptians were retreating, the Lord swept them into the sea. The water returned and covered the chariots and the chariot drivers, all the army of Pharaoh that had followed them into the sea. Not one of them remained, but the Israelites walked through the sea on dry ground, with the wall of water on their right and on their left. That day the Lord saved Israel from the power of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptian dead on the seashore. When Israel saw the great power that the Lord had displayed against the Egyptians, the people feared the Lord and put their trust in him and in his servant Moses. Exodus chapter 15, verses 1 to 27. Then Moses and the Israelites sang this song to the Lord. "The Lord is my strength and my song, and he has become my salvation. This is my God, and I will praise him. My father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a warrior, the Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his army he has thrown into the sea. The best of Pharaoh's officers are drowned in the Red Sea. The deep waters have covered them. They sank to the bottom like a stone. Your right hand, O Lord, is majestic in power. Your right hand, O Lord, shatters the enemy. By your great majesty you overthrow those who rise against you. You send out your fury, it consumes them like stubble. At the blast of your nostrils the waters piled up, the floods stood upright like a wall, the deep waters congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake. I will divide the spoil, I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. You blew with your wind, the sea covered them, they sank like lead in the mighty waters. Who is like you, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like you, majestic in holiness? Awesome in glorious deeds, doing wonders. You stretched out your right hand, the earth swallowed them. In your faithful love you laid the people you have redeemed. In your strength you guide them to your holy dwelling. The nations will hear and tremble. Anguish will seize the inhabitants of Philistia. The chiefs of Edom will be dismayed. The leaders of Moab will panic. The people of Canaan will melt away. Terror and dread will fall on them. By the power of your arm they will be as still as a stone. Until your people pass by, O Lord. Until the people you have purchased pass by. You will bring them in and plant them on the mountain of your inheritance, the place you made your dwelling, O Lord. The sanctuary, O Lord, which your hands have established. The Lord will reign forever and ever. For the horses of Pharaoh with his chariots and his chariot drivers went into the sea, and the Lord brought back the waters of the sea on them. But the Israelites walked through the sea on dry ground. Then Miriam the prophetess, Aaron's sister, took a tambourine in her hand, and all the women went out after her with tambourines and dancing. Miriam sang to them, Sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and its rider he has thrown into the sea. Then Moses led Israel onward from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur. They traveled 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. When they came to Marah, they could not drink the water at Marah because it was bitter. That is why it was named Marah. So the people grumbled against Moses, saying, What shall we drink? Then Moses cried out to the Lord, and the Lord showed him a piece of wood. Moses threw it into the water, and the water became sweet. There the Lord made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he tested them. He said, If you diligently listen to the voice of the Lord your God, and do what is right in his sight, and give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of the diseases on you that I put on the Egyptians. For I am the Lord who heals you. Then they came to Elim, where there were 12 springs of water and 70 palm trees, and they camped there by the water.